MBA. I'm back. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Thriller here, and we are here for the NBA draft analysis. As you guys can see there, I am back for the NBA, and we're doing something a little more different this time because you're going to see I have some Pokemon that are not in Scarlet and Violet. We are not doing a National Dex League, so first off, I want anyone to not think it's National Dex, even though there's a few Pokemon that could fit in the National Dex, but also fits in the Paldea Dex. We are going to be doing a Gen 6 draft. Now, I had never played in Gen 6. Now, obviously, Gen 6, Gen 7, relatively similar format, right? Essentially. And I played the Gen 7 before, but I never played when the Gen started, which was back in Gen 6. I never played the start of draft essentially. So I looked at this as a great opportunity. Now I'm gonna say it right now. I don't think I'm going to do really well in this format. I think I'm going to do average, maybe get a couple wins here and there. And I'm not expecting to make playoffs. I want to learn this format. I want to play in this format, and more importantly, I want to enjoy this format. So I'm going to do my best to have some fun. Still try to bring in some wins, but overall, just experiment and learn the Gen 6 format again, as it has been a very long time since I've even done a format, or let alone doing Gen 6 draft entirely, because I have never done a Gen 6 league in my entire career. I don't count ones that I join and then they die because they end up being they don't count. Also, sorry to keep hearing my cat. She is being very annoying right now. So, with that being said, let's break down this. We had, I believe, the 12th, I think the either 11th or 12th pick in the draft. So I didn't get anything really good per se. I got sniped a lot, and I got sniped with my boy Jolteon. This was the perfect gen to grab him because he gets his power back. And I'm so sad about that. Whoever sniped Jolteon from me, you're no longer my friend. I'm just kidding, we're all friends still. But be nice to my son. Be nice to my son. But surprisingly enough, arguably tied for the best format in this Gen 6 meta. Because again, this is Gen 6 format, not any past gens where abilities were slightly neutered and stuff like that, you know? I grabbed Mega Gardevoir. Now, in any hindsight, this should not have been sitting around. And now some people may have went with some value that mattered a lot more to them, which definitely is a fair thing. 100% a fair thing that they would want to go for more of the value Pokemon of anything else. And I'm really looking forward to using Gardevoir. I have never used Mega Gardevoir before. I think maybe I did, but it was in a Natdex league, I think, potentially. Or it could have been just like a Gen 8 Natdex where Megas were basically just allowed. Everything else was pretty much in, except for a couple Pokemon that we're not seeing the Gen 8 format. I think I maybe used it once. I don't know if I finished the season with it or not, but we've got like Gardevoir here, which is going to be Rias Skrummery, original Claw Rias. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, I don't want to explain in the comment section. Let's just know she's a famous anime waifu, and she is great. Even though I have a certain anime waifu from that I don't feel like saying because people will judge me for it. So I'm not gonna let you judge. But this is my second favorite, 100%. But I love Gardevoir. Gardevoir to me, you guys have seen me use Gardevoir before in a showdown league, and you might have not noticed, but I also used it in a Wi-Fi league. And the two times I used Gardevoir, I did amazing with. Gardevoir fit exactly what I wanted to do, and it performed the way I wanted it to perform. So I was really impressed and happy with Gardevoir's performance. I'm hoping and I am praying that Mega Gardevoir can do the exact same numbers, and I'm really hoping we can make this Pokemon really good. Now, I do need to remember that this is the Gen 6 formula of Megas, which means if I Mega on the turn 1, I don't have 100 base speed. I have 80 base speed. That is even the biggest thing we're going to have to remember here is I have 80 base speed for when I Mega. So that's a big thing to factor in when I Mega my Pokemon. So really important thing to note there. Now with the second pick overall, this was a Pokemon I used back in like the Gen 6 and Gen 7 era. And I did use only once maybe, but I did really well with this Pokemon, especially with Z-moves, but now I get to try without Z-moves, even though I never did in Gen 9. And it's Pokemon that I have had my moments where I'm broken with this guy, but then there's times where I've actually kind of fallen off with him. So I'm hoping in this format we get to shine even more stronger than ever before. And he may be a coach, he may be the member, or even not the captain of the Bronx Beartics in Manaphy, my boy Ocean here. I love Manaphy, dude. This is arguably one of my favorite water types to ever use in draft. really up there. It's in like my top five probably. So the fact to get to use it in this format is really good. And we getting it second round was really good for us because it was a 15 point Pokemon. Gardevoir was 19. 19 was the highest point tier. I really, really, really wanted this Pokemon. This was one of my prize waters that I really wanted to grab. I actually was thinking of trying to grab Victini at this point, but I think Manatee's a lot more better value as a bulky water, and so it's an offensive water. And I figured there's a chance I can grab Victini. Spoilers: Victini didn't make it back to me, which would have been really cool to go for the duo. As you're going to see, there's a certain Pokemon we have that's really funny. So Manaphy, though, absolutely love this Pokemon. I am so excited to use this thing again. It's been a very long time. Speaking of a long time not using, I haven't used this guy since Gen 8. That's my boy. Hit him from below because he's Diggersby, yo. That's my boy, Bugs the Diggersby here. Or do I name him Roger? I think I named him Bugs. But we got my boy Bugs the Diggersby. And you may ask yourself, why is Diggersby so good? It has pickup. It's not that great of a Pokemon. But what if I told you this thing has huge power? And this is one of the most slept on Pokemon in draft. If you guys don't know, Diggersby was one of the OG huge power breakers back in the day in Gen 6, Gen 7. And the reason why he wasn't immediately back, and even in Gen 8, he became one of the more stronger grounds to draft in the format. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this bad boy was allowed in Scarlet and Violet with Terra, oh my god, this Pokemon will be disgusting with Terra. It's just this disgusting format for it. But I absolutely love Diggersby. Fantastic Pokemon. It's got some really good move pulls here. It gives access to, I believe, spikes. Yeah, it does give us spikes, which is really good here because it's our first hazard setter. But I'm going to tell you right, man, I want to run Choice Scarab. I want to run Choice Band. And more importantly, this move is back. This is the most broken normal type stab to give a Pokemon like Diggersby, and you think about the combination of normal ground is insanely hard to switch into. Like the only switch into normal is ghost types, and guess what? If those ghost types aren't levitating, I'm gonna earthquake them and kill them, or I'm gonna hit them with a really powerful, hold on, a really powerful knockoff. So really, really great. And I actually thought this was a really good value pick in round three, in my opinion. I really think a lot of people were going to go for Diggersby, and I do think I sniped maybe one or two people potentially of it. This was a good value Pokemon that I really needed to get, and I felt like it's one of the best ground types in the game in this format. So really one of them. Now coming into round four, I really should have picked up a dragon within my second or third pick because I think there were still a lot of good dragons left. But since I valued Diggersby over that dragon, there was actually only realistically two dragons left after relooking at the board, and they almost decided to drop the current dragon to pick up that dragon. So the two dragons were Dragalge and Haxorus, were like the last two really good valued dragons left in the entire format. Now there is Flygon, but Flygon I think is more valued as a ground type than as a dragon type in my personal opinion. But I still love Flygon. He's my goat, and he gets Roost back, which is awesome. But I ended up going with a dragon that is near dear to my heart and was probably one of the first, if not the first dragon I ever drafted in Draft League. That's my boy, Haxorus, my man, Rex. I am so excited to have Haxorus back here again. This is going to be a broken Pokemon. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, we lost Scale Shot and we lost, well, we still keep sources, but we also lost First Impression. So we lost two cool tools that were great options for Haxorus. But it still does whatever a Haxorus did, man. It clicks Dragon Dance. It clicks Choice Band. It clicks Swords Dance. It goes Choice Scarf. This Pokemon is insanely strong, and I'm really looking forward to using it again. It's been a little bit since I used it. Last time I used it was JGDL, I think season 2 or season 3. It might have been season 2, I think. But overall, it's a fantastic. It's probably season 3, but who knows? But I'm absolutely excited to have a boy Rex again in this format where he was definitely one of the stronger dragons, but definitely looking forward to using him. Now, with this next pick, I actually really messed up on this pick, and there was one Pokemon I actually really wanted to draft after re-looking at it, and I for some reason dropped the ball and not picking it up at this point in time. And it really is kicking me because it eventually did get sniped, and I ended up not even trying to pick it because again I had a poison type. But in hindsight, I should have picked it up, dropped Scolipede to get something better in Grace, but ended up really biting myself in the bone for this one. But I ended up going with a mon that I have used before, and it's kind of been good for me. I haven't done anything crazy with it. because it's missed, and that's why it does bad. So I'm hoping this is the redemption arc for my main man, Scolipede, aka my main man, Turbo here. And I'm actually I'm actually really excited to use my boy Turbo here. Now, it is another Pokemon that does give me access to spikes and toxic spikes, which is really great. Obviously, and then one of the big things about this guy is, of course, speed boost, man. This Pokemon is so unbelievably good. Now, it is going to be the fastest Mon we do draft, and I do have two. Later on, we'll have Mons that do share speed tiers, but aren't really necessarily made for that. And then we have another Mon that shares a speed tier with this, and then this being our second fastest. So our speed tiers are going to be really wanky and really weird, but overall, it's going to be what it is. But Scolipede, absolutely love this dude. He is a really good Pokemon, and I'm really hoping this is his redemption arc for us. And I'm really hoping we can get some sweeps off with this Scolipede. And I pray to God he does not miss, because if he does, oh, he's getting benched immediately. Coming up next, I wanted to grab a steel type since there was no good steels, and this is a format where fire dragon or fairy dragon steel cards are really important into the format. Now, I won't lie to you guys, if I didn't get Gardevoir, I was definitely going to be getting either Sylveon because I really wanted to use Sylveon in this format, so Sylveon's really good in this format. Versus Gen 9, where it needs Terra to be good, in my personal opinion. I think it's still good fair type, but if I cannot be a steel type, kind of bad of a thing. So I ultimately went with what was probably no, there was another steel type called Balion, but I really didn't want a steel type that was weak to fairy still. I wanted a steel type that resisted fairy. Now this was a steel type that I didn't think I couldn't pass up on grabbing because there was no other good steel types I felt like they would have benefited my team. So I ended up picking up my boy Metagross here, aka Titanium. My man Metagross is back. I haven't used Metagross in a hot minute, man. It's been a long, long time. Now, obviously, this is gonna be a format where body press is not a thing. Heavy slam is not a thing. Psychic fangs is not even a thing. And it doesn't even get knockoff. So it lost all the cool stuff. This is OG Metagross. So that's gonna be what's gonna be happening here is we have OG Metagross. So we have to be really careful how we play around Metagross, but this time around we have Rock Polish back, which is really great. We get some really cool tools back on these Pokemon, and so I'm really excited to use my main man Metagross. I don't know why Reflect was randomly selected, but Metagross, fantastic Pokemon. Really looking forward to using him again. And I think again he was probably in terms of fairy switches was the best Steel type left. Now there was things like Magneton, but eh. In a format like this, I don't think Magneton's all that good. He is good, but I think he's all that good. But I love Metagross, so oh, excuse me. We'll give him a whirl. Okay, this is the one I'm talking. Up next, we grabbed my main girl herself, Amy Rose, the Shaman. Now, I don't think Shiny Shaman is allowable in this game, so we're not going to be able to do that. But now you're going to see why I grabbed this. Now, I grabbed this because it gets back its coverage that it desperately. Oh, wait, hold on. That it desperately needed, like the hidden powers coming back. Like, that was really important. Like the it was really good, and also the fact that synthesis. Okay, synthesis was always APP, so never mind. I think that was it. But like this Pokemon was a monster in this format. It was a absolute demon because of how good it is. Natural Cure has a really good status absorber for my team as well, which is really good. And overall, this was a fantastic pickup, and I really like this mon, and I really think it's going to do us good justice here. Now you're going to see with our team, we ended up not really getting stuff that handles fighting types. And we didn't end up drafting electric types, so waters are also going to primarily be an issue. So we have a couple of typings, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, being in the point where I was at, I got sniped on so many things. There was so many good stuff going that I should have just jumped to the get-go with and tried to stick with something that was left over. And I really, really, really should have gotten it, but I ended up going for the value that I needed. And again, like I said, the only I 100% regret is the Scolipede. Should have been Rose Raid, and then I could have probably got myself a decent electric or switch in or something like that for fightings with this team instead of Shaman. But Shaman, absolutely love it. It's gonna be really good. And yeah. Now I did set in a New Year's resolution last year that I'm not going to drop any Pokemon until after certain weeks. And I did do that. However, this time around, I did change that up, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to make the changes if I absolutely need to. Otherwise, I'm going to try to myself keep the team in the way it is. So I ended up making two transactions. Originally, as you're going to see here, I had Rotom Fan, and Cloyster. Now, Cloyster was primarily there because it was the only Rapid Spinner I can get. And this is also a gen where the Rotoms don't have defog, so they were not that good. But Rotom Fan was like the last kind of cool electric I had left on the board. It also give me a ground immunity, which you're also going to see we lose to ground besides having one Pokemon that switches to ground. So, really felt like I really wanted some good value for the team. So unfortunately, did spit. Unfortunately, did went ahead and kind of got rid of this. So we ended up picking up the two new mons on the team. So first mon we're going to talk about here is my girl Midna, the Umbreon here. I absolutely love Umbreon. It is one of my favorite evolutions in terms of shiny, but in terms of its evolution, in terms of competitive, I fucking hate fighting this thing. It's a piece of garbage. However, this is the gen where we get this back. I mean, I think it got Toxic back eventually, but we got Toxic back. We got Wish back. Moonlight's still the same thing as always. But this Pokemon finally has tools again to really be cool, man. It finally has hidden power back, so we can make Calm Mind variants really cool with this Pokemon. And this is one of the main glue pieces of a team that I really needed to help my team. And I also desperately needed a Dark type. Now, this is a Dark type that can beat most Psychics now. I guarantee this, but I do think a Clefable is now not much of an issue because Clefable has to run enough coverage to check a lot of things on my team. But anyways, Umbreon, it's gonna not be a mon I probably bring a ton per se, but I do think it's got the best value for our team. And I'm also a little surprised that it did not go drafted. I felt like this was probably one of the best lower tier darks that were priced out. And I think it's going to be really great. And I'm really hoping to make Umbreon really work this season. And I'm really, really, really excited to try it. And now, since it's a lot better this gen, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And last but not least, we got a boy. I forgot what I named you. I think I called you Springman. I don't remember, but I also think I got shiny, so I'll make you shiny. Unburdened and Reckless is really good on this Pokemon, and the main reason I drafted this Pokemon, I'll be honest with you guys, was Rapid Spin. That's it. Now I do need to remember that Rapid Spin does not buff my speed like it does now in the Gen 8 and Gen 9 formats. So that's it. And again, this is actually a pretty decent spinner. It does punish a ghost type from coming in with knockoff, which is really great. And it can beat the ghost type still 1v1 with another coverage move, depending on the ghost type, of course. But overall, this is a really good Pokemon. It's good value for what it offers to the team. We got a decent enough speed here, so we picked up a little bit more speed on our team, which is really good. But overall, we picked up some good, decent more. We picked up a little bit more bulk, and we've a little bit more offense. So this team, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, it kind of does suck. I'm not going to lie. There's good pieces on this team. There's good Pokemon on here, but in terms of what I have and what I can use, it's bad. But we're gonna have to see how the season goes. I'm hoping and praying that we do well this season. And again, like I said, I'm hoping for at least a couple of wins this season. I'm not expecting myself to make playoffs. I'm not expecting myself to do really that good. I'm here to learn, try my best, and overall have a good fun time. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And get ready for some Gen 6 Draft League battles. Until next time, guys, I'm Thriller Shocker. I'm Thriller96. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.